I strongly believe that you should not try to rationalize things too much. If your instinct, intuition, guts tell you it's good or not good, trust it.
Good afternoon, Greet. How are
Again,
you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. The sun is shining and I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
Perfect day.
What a lovely day.
What a lovely day. Now, these are special times, Corona times. Of course, I have to ask because otherwise we would meeting each other in a physical area. Um, what do you think about this Corona thing? How you're dealing with it?
Well, actually, maybe it sounds strange for a lot of people, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it because, and I hear it, different people saying it, but we have to slow down, and I like to use this time to slow down. It's also a special time because we decided to stop our business boost event business. So this is a great opportunity actually to really reflect on what's the next step and what better than in Corona times. I mean, the weather is nice. Everybody's slowing down. It's an ideal time, really. So for me, actually, I believe that I'm gonna look back later and say, "Oh my God, that was a great time."
And you're very successful with Business Boost, helping other entrepreneurs by building their personal brands and also help them to sell. What do you think is going to be the impact on those entrepreneurs after Corona? Do you think that they will have to do things differently? Or do you think the old normal is going to be the same normal after Corona?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I believe that it depends on the people and their businesses, of course, but also on the people themselves. I mean, I strongly believe that people will view things in a different way. I mean, this is a third week. I
Hmm?
think the third week. It seems like the third month or something. But I really think that people have slowed down and start looking at things differently. They are questioning, okay, is this what I want? Is this business what I want? Are my clients the clients that I want? Is this life the life that I want, etc.? And that means that, well, I believe that that means that people will see things differently after the Corona period. Yeah.
And do you think it will have an impact on selling in general?
Yeah, but for some for some there won't be a difference. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will just go back to the old business, old way of doing. Some people just like the old way, and that's
Mhm.
good. But I'm pretty sure that there's also a lot of people who will, yeah, see things differently. um, I already, and you see that too, I already see like a trend of more in-depth
Yeah,
selling, in-depth business doing, more mindful business doing, even more connective selling.
yeah,
And I hope that that will be a trend that we will see continue, and
yeah,
that it will become more and more the standard and
yeah,
not the old-fashioned way of selling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's this saying, people buy from people, um, but it's kind of a hollow saying if you don't really look at it more in depth. And I mean, people buy from people, real people, and if you show the real Peter or the real Greet of whoever, that's what people resonate with. And that means that all your flaws, all your successes, but also your flaws and your failures and all the difficulties you've went through or you're going through, just be honest about it, and you will feel that connection.
Yeah.
It will scare away also some other people, I've seen that lately. But the right people will connect with that and will do business with you just because of that. And certainly in our case, in my case, where I'm selling services, where I'm selling myself and my knowledge to other people, then it's clear that people have to connect with me, and I want to connect with them. Especially if I'm gonna work one-on-one or even in small groups with these people, I really want to have a connection with these people. It's very difficult to sell, but also to work with people with whom you have no connection at all.
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Yeah, I had it even when I was in a human resources interim manager back in the day, and I had a new assignment with new people I had to get to know, and new managers and new CEOs, etc. And I really loved it when the most difficult manager at the end of my assignment said, "Oh my God, you were a pain in the ass, but now I found out that you are really great, and I'm gonna miss you," or something. You did a great job here in this company because you stayed who you are, and that's important. And in our company, I had that in different occasions, really. That people said, "Well, in our company, everybody is just following the masses because that's what corporate is saying that we have to do, and you just are different." And in the beginning I found that really difficult, but now I see that it was really a very strong point, and I'm glad to have met you or something. Isn't that a compliment?
Yes. Now the HR interim management, that was the first thing you did after you graduated?
Oh no, my first job was in IT.
Okay.
Yeah.
As an employee?
As an employee, yes. I graduated handelsingenieur, a commercial engineer. So you know everything and nothing. And I surely didn't know anything about IT. And I said, okay, this is booming. This is an area that I have to learn, or an area where I want to work in, because I don't know anything about it. And I know it is the future. It is important. So I started in IT, but there was a reason why I didn't know anything about it. I really didn't like it at all. But that was my first job in IT, really.
What did you do there? Was it HR?
No, not at all. It was IT analyst, programmer, and actually,
okay.
first, in the beginning, it was kind of debugging and testing and stuff. But fortunately, there was a project that we were working on with a big company. I was also outsourced, and there was this possibility to give training to the people about a new software that we were implementing, that we were building and implementing in that company. So when they were looking for somebody to give the training, even though the system did not work at all, I was the first one to say, yeah, because I didn't feel like staying behind my desk all testing and doing all that debugging stuff. And so that I didn't stay really long in IT as such. I quickly got the chance, or took the chance, to become a trainer. And that was a whole different
trainer as an entrepreneur?
Hmm?
A trainer as an entrepreneur, or still as an employee?
Still as an employee. And now I've been an entrepreneur for, I think it's my 10th year now.
But what triggered you to become an entrepreneur?
When I was actually more by a coincidence. I was an interim manager for a couple of years in human resources. I did great assignments. And then one day I kind of felt like, okay, been there, seen that, done that. Next time when my clients call me to do an assignment, instead of doing it myself, I'm going to find the right freelancer to do the assignment. And that's when I started my first company.
Okay.
So before that, I was an interim manager on the payroll of another company. But then I decided, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore myself. I'm going to create a company where I can work with freelancers specialized in human resources, and I'm going to outsource them to my clients. And that's my first.
Was there a specific trigger or event that made you jump? Maybe your parents or your environment are all entrepreneurs or something.
No, not at all. No, not at all. On the contrary, it was just a feeling. When I look back at the most important decisions in my life, I never really thought about it thoroughly. I did not use my analytical brain to see, okay, what are the pros and the cons. I did that later on. But the most important decisions in my life were always based on gut feeling.
No.
I have to do this. I know I have to do this, and I'm gonna do this. And then afterwards, of course, you start rationalizing things. Okay, the pros and the cons, but the decision itself, boom. And so, yeah, it was just a coincidence. Actually, it was a meeting that I had in that other company, and it was a really boring meeting. And I said, "What am I doing here? I can do things with my time that are more valuable than wasting my time here." Then I had lunch with a friend, and she was very inspiring. And I said, boom, let's do this.
Okay. Now, as an entrepreneur, then you were really confronted with the fact that you had to sell your services.
Yes.
And if you look back at that time, what was your perception of selling? Like most people, you think it's sleazy, dirty. I don't like it, or it was something that you said, yeah, it's part of the job because I'm now a free bird and I have to do it to get my clients in.
Yeah, I remember the first business that I started was actually with another friend of mine, and we were discussing the job title, what we'll say on this business card. Oh yeah, maybe key account manager or whatever. And then I said, no, no sales. Oh, what the idea? I didn't want to be perceived as a sales. So back in the day, I thought that it was not a pretty role or not a pretty role title, which is of course pretty ridiculous when I look at it now. But back in the day, I said, no, I'm not a salesperson. I'm just looking for the right freelance interim manager for my clients, and that's no sales. Ridiculous, isn't it? Because I was doing sales. Actually, you always are selling stuff, things, ideas, whatever, to
People think
everybody.
people think they don't have to sell, but everybody is selling. They just don't know it or not aware of it.
Yeah. I think that influencing might sometimes be an interesting other word, a euphemism maybe for selling. If you don't like selling, just say influencing. If you like it better.
Now that's an interesting one. What is your definition or the difference between marketing and sales? Because there's a lot of confusion about that. What do you think is the difference between the two?
Marketing is much more important, but that's because I'm a marketing lady. The difference
Yeah,
is,
but why is that more important?
selling is easy, because if marketing does its job well, then selling is easy.
Okay.
Marketing is doing all the preparation, and selling is just okay. So you put in soccer, marketing is like putting the ball just in front of the goal, and then sales just has
Okay.
to execute. But
What is then marketing for you? Is it then creating a website, thinking about the positioning, think about I don't know what.
for me, marketing has everything to do with creating awareness with your target audience that one, you exist, two, that you have great stuff to sell or to offer, and three, that you're the best person to buy it from.
Okay.
That's really very quickly how I see things. And that's that if you are able to position yourself very well, and if you are able to create that awareness, if you are able to position yourself as the expert in your field with the best products in your field, and people believe it, the right people believe it, then selling is actually easy. And that is why, for me, I like to put a lot of emphasis on that first part, on marketing, which does not mean that selling is easy, of course. But if the first part is done correctly, then the second part of the selling should be pretty easy.
And do you think that's the explanation why a lot of entrepreneurs, especially solo entrepreneurs, are struggling to find or attract new customers? They think, I'm going to learn to sell, and then that's the magic, because actually they have forgotten to really invest and take time to really create a foundation of their marketing.
But I think it's actually, there's different aspects there. There are some entrepreneurs who say are very good at marketing and branding, really, but they forget to sell. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs who are pretty good in branding themselves, blogging and having nice quotes on the internet and positioning themselves, etc. Pretty good. But then they forget to sell something. They don't have an offer, and they don't know how to sell. So that's a difficulty that I see with lots of entrepreneurs. And then there's of course also the entrepreneurs who never invest in a proper positioning and a proper personal branding or branding of their company, and that makes it difficult, because then you might have to start cold calling
Yeah.
and that's a lousy job.
Okay. Yeah, I follow you. Now, very easy question. Do you think that I feel a lot of resistance of people who want to sell? Do you think it's easy that everybody is capable of learning how to sell?
Yeah, of course. I learned it.
And how did you learn it? By doing it? By reading books? By taking classes? How did you learn?
Well, the three. And I had a good mentor, and I learned from some good people, and it's by doing it and reading books and attending these classes, etc. But it's really a combination. If you can learn everything if you really want to. I mean, you learned how to sing, so it's a common joke with my clients now. I always say it to my clients: you can learn everything if you really want to, but you have to put your mind to it, and you have to dedicate time and effort. But if you do that and you really want it, you are able to do everything, I think.
And
so yeah, you can learn how to sell. Everybody can learn how to sell, and it doesn't. And if you do it in a right way, the way you teach it in your videos, it's not sleazy at all. It's really
no.
helping other people achieving their goals, getting rid of their problems. How great is that? Helping.
Yeah, that's the reaction that you gave on the first episode. You said that everybody has a gift, and it's actually you're doing a disadvantage or a disservice to the people not selling your service or the gift that you have, because I'm also convinced that everybody has something, and that there are people are begging to buy that thing of service or whatever from you, but you have to show up and tell your story and connect, and then people are going to buy. And I find it a pity that people are think it's something bad based on beliefs created by popular media and movies. Everybody thinks that selling is like the Wolf of Wall Street, shouting at the telephone and talking fast, but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, does it work? Yes, it works sometimes, but
yeah, that's another style. I mean, it's not your style, nor is it mine. So
yeah. Well, on the style, did you went through the different techniques like solution selling, value creation selling, challenger selling?
Well, I did not really go into that in detail in the different types. I just searched for a way that suited me and my approach, and that's a connective selling kind of sales. It's more like having a good conversation with somebody, but in a little bit more structured and result oriented way, but like a coaching
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah, yeah.
Problem, okay, how can I help you, etc. and that's how I learned it. And I don't know all the definitions of sales. I'm
No,
not a
no.
sales specialist really. So,
But actually, it doesn't matter because it's. I mean, if you think you can hide behind a certain technique, you will be so caught up in your head, and you're getting it in your own way, and then you cannot connect with the other person. And for me, that's the first thing. I mean, just focus on engaging with somebody else, and the rest will follow. If you really engage and connect with somebody else by asking questions, like what you do with a friend. Now, I'm going to switch. What are actually role models that you look up and look up to? It doesn't have to be sales. Just role models that you think she is a guiding light for you, or is
well, one
inspiring
of
you.
my favorite, it's not a guru, I mean, but one of my favorite, how do you say that, influencers is Brandon Bouchard. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's lots of them, but Brandon Bouchard is the guy I really look up to when it comes to marketing and performance management, those areas. And then the other person who passed away a couple of years ago is Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer,
That's more into the
spiritual.
mindset side
Yeah.
and more spiritual kind of guy.
But he didn't start Wayne Dyer. He didn't start by his esoteric. He
No,
was
not at
more
all. His earlier work is really easy to read. I love his earlier work actually, and I've bought one of his books, Erroneous
zone.
Zones.
Yeah.
I bought I think 20 copies of it, and I give it to people. It's because it's a book that everybody should read, and it's not a difficult book really, and it's actually quite funny too.
Yeah. It's a
I,
great,
I
great,
think I
great book.
like the humor in it.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said that it's not at all humorous, but anyway, maybe that's my kind of humor. But anyway, yeah.
He was actually an addict, because I remember he was selling his books from his car.
Mm-hmm.
He was really addicted to alcohol and
Yeah.
selling books. And then later on, he became famous. I don't know when he became famous, but okay. What are the books you're reading right now?
Oh, I read a lot of books. Actually, I don't only read books, but I also
Listen.
listen a lot to books. And now with the Corona crisis, I'm not in my car that often.
Yeah.
But the last book I was listening to is the one from somebody said I should read it, and it's the latest from Marie Forleo. Everything is figure outable. She's also coming to Las Vegas, and I said, okay, I have to get to know her a little bit better. And it's a fun book. It's a little bit like the earlier work of Wayne Dyer. Everything is figure outable. So it's a no nonsense book. Um, and it's something like it's actually everything is just fine. Even in these days, life is just fine, and it's actually the way how it is supposed to be, and that's fine, and be okay with it. And if you have a problem, there's always a way to figure it out. You can always find a way or a person to find a solution to the problem. So every problem is figure outable, she says, and
Okay.
then there's quite a lot of examples there.
It sounds really Eckhart Tolle to me. It's really about
Yeah,
the here
but
and now.
actually, that's another level.
Yeah, I know, but it sounds it goes in that direction.
Yeah, but it's a fun book. I mean, and if you're gonna read it, you're gonna have I think the same reaction as I do. Oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, okay, familiar. Oh yeah, that's that story. That's that. So it's really familiar for us. But it's a nice book. It's a nice book, and really, it's all about don't worry, don't worry. Things are gonna turn out just fine. That's my ding. Het komt goed.
Yes, everything is gonna be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end.
It's not the end. No.
Yeah. Do you when are you going to launch your first book?
My first book,
Yeah.
yeah. in 2014. I already attended a course, How to Write Your Book in 28 Days. That was in 2014. And I was really, I had the idea, I'm gonna launch that, I'm gonna write a book about personal branding. But instead of writing the book about personal branding, I created a second company on personal branding. And I think that's better. So maybe my next book, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm wondering, is that the best use of my time, money, and energy?
You're not
I'm
feeling
not
it
sure yet.
100%. Yeah. You're not feeling it 100% yet, that book.
Oh, I've got lots of ideas, etc. But we only have 24 hours in a day. And as you know, I don't want to work 24 hours in a day. I'm a kind of lazy person. So I want to work very efficiently, effectively, and I want to be very, very clear with what I do with my time. And then if there's several opportunities, writing a book, launching a new online program, or maybe launching a new business or a podcast or whatever, and then I have to decide, okay, which one is the best use of my time, money, and energy. And there's another couple of other things that I'm going to measure to see, okay, am I going to do this, or this? You can't do everything at the same time.
No. But how do you measure that? How do you measure that? Do you measure that in terms of output of money, or do you measure that in terms of what brings me joy or positive energy?
Well, a combination, really. So and it's an exercise that I do with my clients also. Yeah, what I think is important is to look at what is important to you, a couple of your values, and then you've got some rational metrics. Like for instance, okay, in the short term, what's the gain in the short term? What's the gain in the long term? What's the benefit for the society, maybe, if that is important to you?
Yeah.
What's it? Will I learn? Will I grow when I do this?
Yeah.
And there's several things that a couple of 5 or 6 of these metrics, and then you just give it a score. And so maybe that book, I will grow, I'm certain of that. In the long term, if I use it well as a marketing instrument, not as to sell as such, then it's also gonna get me some money in the long term. Question is, if I compare that with other things, I'm not sure. Yeah, I should do my own exercise. And for the moment, I think I have to focus, especially now, because my business suddenly stopped, and I have to launch a new business because yeah, we have to earn some money, and I think that a book is not the easiest, fastest way to earn money. It's good. It's a perfect personal branding instrument, but it's not the best way to earn money fast.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're in a kind of, how do you say that, self-reflection time right now, if I can summarize it like that. But it's not the first time, and it's the same with me, that you actually are and have reinvented yourself. If you look back in your life, when was a kind of an event that triggers you to really say, I want to let go of that old identity of Greet and build a new one? What was there a specific event that happened in your life that triggered that?
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. One of the major events in my life, it's a small event, but it triggered a lot of things, was actually a long time ago when I had a big fight with my father and sister. So that was when I was, I don't know, 20 years old or something, or can't remember, or maybe a little bit younger. And I used to be a very negative person, somebody who was always, who was not looking at things on the bright side. It was always complaining and blaming people, and everything was bad. And I was sighing also. Everything was like that. in my life, or and there was a perception that I gave to people, and I really was no fun to be with. And that's what my father and my sister said to me during that draw. They said to me, well, you're actually really pain in the ass. Well, they didn't say that like
Okay.
that, but that was the message. You're really no fun to be with. You're always complaining and blaming, etc. And the thing is, I wasn't even aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah, life was just like that. And it's the first time that somebody had the guts to put a mirror in my face and say, this is who you are, and you're
Okay.
no fun to be with. And that's the day that I decided I don't want to be like that, because those two people were the most important people in my life. I loved them, and I still love them with all my heart. And they just told me that they didn't love me. That's not what they said. They did love me, because otherwise they wouldn't have taken the time even, or the effort to put that mirror in my face. But anyway, that was for me a big lesson. And that day I decided I don't want to be that negative person anymore. I don't want to be that introverted person anymore. I don't want to be that person who's complaining and blaming and everything. I'm going to change that. And I completely, totally changed myself
How did you do that?
course of years.
Yeah, how did you do that? I mean, you decide for yourself. How did you do that? Do you, I don't know, went to coach or something, or
No, no,
search
no.
new people?
I didn't know that there were coaches back in the day. There was no internet, and I didn't even go to the library. I always say I think I must have had some angel on my shoulder or something who was there to help me. I just did it common sense, really. If everything that when every time there was a negative thought, or when I wanted to say something negative, I changed it into
Yeah.
something
Okay.
positive. Simple
Awareness.
things,
Yeah.
really.
That's really awareness, eh? That's a lot of people are not aware that it's really a muscle, eh? That the thoughts, you are aware of it, you monitor it, and then you change it to another thought. And if you keep doing that, the neuron transmitters in your head will change to more
Yeah,
positive.
and it's of course work in progress, and
Yeah.
I admit I sometimes have my bad days too, but not even my bad days, my bad moments.
Yeah.
But it's these little things. I did this breath. Because I really had an how do you say that? Een tic.
Yes.
That I really was sighing a lot of the time.
So
I,
you were breathing from here like a lot of people.
Yeah, and I really like, oh my god, this is boring. And this was the perception that I gave. So I did a lot of breath work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, and fake it until you make it. And I put a smile on my face, and I pretended like I own the world. Not like I really am the best in the world, but I'm happy, and I'm happy with me. I'm happy with the world, and look at me. You can see me,
Well, that's a
and
little
that
bit.
was fake it until you make it,
Yeah.
because I really did not feel confident or
Yeah.
whatever.
But that's actually what Brandon and Tony Robbins are saying. Eh? Really change your physical state, and then your mental state will also change. Eh?
But yeah, that's true. I mean, you've got your convictions, and then you've got your feelings, and then you've got your actions and results, and that there's this circle. I wasn't aware of it. It's later that I saw what this circle is all about, and then I said, "Oh my God!" Now I remember when I was young. Apparently, I worked on two aspects. First, on the beliefs, the convictions, I mean, the beliefs, and the negative thoughts, etc., and beliefs and thoughts. And then the second one is the acting,
Yeah.
act differently, and that works. It works. It takes a lot of effort and time, maybe, but it works. It really works.
And can you now say for yourself that you are an extroverted person, or you don't categorize yourself or label yourself with something?
Ambivert.
Ambivert, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of people will laugh at it when I say I'm an introverted person. They don't believe me. I think it's both, really. I like being with people. I like being on a stage and give training to a large group of people. Um, but on the other hand, I like to work on and be myself also. So I think it's really both.
Now, within 10 years, who is Greet Bunnens?
Um, good question. I don't know. I don't know. You know, today I feel I am a very happy person. Even though the times are challenging, I feel so grateful and so happy with the life I have. And in 10 years from now, that won't have changed. So I still want to be that happy, grateful person. I always say when I am old, I want to be that old, wise, and funny person, woman. And that's it. I'm gonna be a little bit more wiser. I'm already funny, if I say so myself. With my own kind of humor, I'm already funny. So I'm gonna be a little bit more wiser, I guess. So, but
If
I
I,
don't think that a lot of what will have changed. I will have grown, of course, because I grow every day. I laugh every day, and yeah, that is, I'm just gonna become the better version of myself uh, every day after every day.
with
So
gray hair.
with but who will say? I don't know. My father nor my mother have gray hair, so yeah,
Okay, but they have hair.
but they have hair. Yeah.
Very important. If you would go back in time with a DeLorean and Back to the Future, and you were 18 and you got to meet your 18-year-old Greet Bunnens, what are the three things that you would say, advise, listen, girl? These are the three most important lessons that I learned. Do them, don't make the same mistakes again. These are the three. What would you say to yourself?
Believe in yourself. That's the first one. Believe in yourself. You can do it. You are loved. And a mistake that I made, just listen to your heart and your guts. I strongly believe that you should not try to rationalize things too much. If your instinct, intuition, guts tell you it's good or not good, trust it.
So you actually can I summarize that the biggest lesson or the biggest failure that you had in life was that you lived too much from your head and took decisions from your head?
Well, I don't feel like I had a lot of failures. That's a good thing. Or even, and if I had, I forgot them.
You see them as
uh,
lessons. That's what you mean.
yeah, but it's really if I made mistakes in the past, it's because I didn't listen to my gut.
Okay.
And the best decisions I made in life was when I listened to my gut, to my heart.
But you are grateful for these mistakes because, I mean, if I look at myself, the biggest lessons that I learned was actually a result of the negative times or the struggles or the fuck ups of the failures or the mistakes. And I'm actually afterwards, I see them as a gift. It would not
Yeah,
make me the person that I
and
am.
yeah, sure. And that's why I don't see it as a failure. And that's why I have difficulty saying, okay, I failed at this or this. It's always a gift. Like for instance, today I'm actually pretty sad that Business Boost event is gonna stop. I'm really sad about that. But
And why is it because it gives you certainty, because you like the contact of the formula? Why does it make you sad?
because it was a great concept and we had a lot of fun and we did great things and we have a great community, and the thing that makes me sad is that I have to let it go,
Hmm.
that it's gonna end. But deep down I know that it was wonderful. I don't have bad recollections of
Yeah.
all this, and it was a wonderful time, and I will stay in contact with the people want to stay in contact too. I mean, I never give up on people, never. If you wish to be in contact with me, we keep in touch forever. Uh, so it's not really ending, and it will stay in my heart forever. It's like the quote of Winnie the Pooh: if there ever comes a day when we cannot be together, keep me in your heart, I will stay there forever. I think
Yeah.
it's such a lovely quote, and that's what's going to happen. But the good memories remain, and I have learned so much from that period. It's just, yeah, it's one chapter is, or a book is over, and then I'm gonna start a new book, and it's always, oh, it was such a good book, I want to reread it or whatever, but it's over, and I'm gonna start something new, and it's gonna be better, and it's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna grow again, and I'm sure of it. But still, it's sad. Okay, this is gonna stop.
What is going to be different? I mean, maybe not better, but different.
Oh, it's gonna be better.
Okay. So you were, I can now speak in the past, very successful with the Business Boost event. Now, what's next?
You can give me the answer. I don't know. I'm today, and that's why I also like this Corona period. Really, I'm giving myself the gift of taking the time to reflect upon everything. I don't want to rush into things. I'm not gonna. Okay, I'm good at personal branding, and I could easily make some kind of online training, sell it on the internet, and possibly it will sell. But I don't want to do that. I want to take the time to really reflect um, and take the time to figure out what is the best next step. And I don't know yet. I've got some clues. I think I will work with other people again. I don't like working on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that it will be with other people.
Okay.
But what and where and how and blah, blah,
Mm.
we'll see.
Yeah, you just put out the seed in the universe, and the rest will be manifested by itself, of course.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. If you would have put me in that position a couple of years ago, I would be stressed out, and I would have my panic attacks maybe, and then say, okay, I have to do something. I have to create a Facebook page and my website, and I have to contact everybody. And now I'm just, yeah, for some strange reason, I know that things will turn out just fine. It's like what Wayne Dyer says: it's not a belief, it's a know. So I know it's gonna turn out fine. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be
because you have faith, and this is a term that I find perfect, because I don't know the exact term in Dutch, but faith, I think it's not like trust, but it's a sense that you know that everything's going to be fine, and it will be there for you. Okay. And I mean, there is social, especially in these Corona times, I mean, you can do two things. You can consume things, or you can create things. And I know you're not going to create anything new, but how do you do that self-reflection? I mean, you can waste your time with watching YouTube or I don't know, social media or Netflix or something. How do you do that self-reflection? Are you using some kind of meditation or mindfulness, or are you going to walk into nature, or are you going to use some kind of, I don't know, coaching principles or formulas or something, or are you just going to, I don't know, is there something?
It's all very intuitive. I mean, yes, I walk my dogs every day, and normally it's 10 or 20 minutes, and now it's long walks. That's one thing. Second, I talk to people. I mean, third thing is indeed well, actually, I've got a lot of online courses that I bought and I've already went through, and I'm gonna do that again. And I'm sure that there's gonna be inspiration here and there. And then the last thing indeed is meditation. Um, I'm very grateful that I finally learned how to meditate. There's no learning about it, but I never took the time to do
Okay.
it.
And
So
is there specific, what is it? Is a mindfulness, vipassana meditation, is a metta meditation? What is it? What are you
oh, but
doing?
it's all kinds of stuff. Now there's this at this moment. This Jay Shetty has his
Yeah,
20.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it's every technique, or technique.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and I like it when it's guided. So for me, that's a good thing during the day that I have something guided. But sometimes just before this interview, I just was very mindful, and I've got these four words that are very important to me. It's serve, love, fun, and trust. So I really took the time to meditate on these four words with regards to this interview, for instance. So
Yeah,
how can I serve the audience? How can
yeah,
I trust that everything's going to be fine? How can I have fun? Just have a laugh, and how can I put love in this interview?
yeah, yeah,
And then it's not really one kind of meditation,
yeah.
but it's taking the time, and I never took the time off. But I've been meditating for a year or something now. I think and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
The big CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies, everybody, well, a lot of them are meditating. So it's not really the hippie la la land stuff. No, and it's proven, scientifically proven how
Yeah.
good it is. So it's not even like, okay, I'm gonna burn a candle and hope that, that everything's gonna work out fine. It's just scientifically proven, even so.
Now, people who are in similar situation like you, is that then for you the advice that you could give, instead of doing something in terms of scarcity, because yeah, I have to do something, I'm scared of not getting enough money, is that the advice that you would give? Slow down and really take the time to reflect. And with you, did you say to yourself, I give myself 6 months, or did you set any boundary in terms of time?
I hope no. It's just I hope it won't take 6 months, because I'm really curious at what I'm gonna invent or do. So people
Yeah.
ask me all the time. So what is it that you're gonna do? So what you tell me. But I hope that I will find out, figure it out sooner than later, because I'm really eager to start my new stuff,
Yeah.
whatever it will maybe. But on the other hand, to give an answer to your question, it's actually, it depends on the person. Sometimes when you are overwhelmed, um, because there's this fear, or you have your doubts, or you don't know, you can't see the wood for the trees, then it's good sometimes also to just go into action, just do something, um, whatever. So action might also be a good thing. um, so action is good, but on the other hand, don't force yourself into some um, fake plan that you have to follow because this or that manager or guru or whatever said that we should have a schedule and an agenda, and we have to go and we have to hustle and ta 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 ta. Because I believe that if you're doing that, and especially if you are feeling the fear and the worry, etc., you're gonna miss the opportunities.
Yeah.
If you just throw yourself in too much action, in too much planning, in too much must, you're gonna miss the opportunities, and you're not gonna see the people who are there waving to you and saying, "Hey, I can help you." You're not gonna see them, and that's a pity, because you're gonna waste a lot of time, even though you think that you're very busy and doing a lot of things and doing. You're gonna waste a lot of time.
So can I call it aligned action then?
Yeah. it's really what I'm doing right now is really completely different from what I'm used to. So what I'm doing right now is for me also new. So I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I really can't say, okay, this is the perfect thing to do for you or for you. I don't know. I'm just experiencing this myself. This is how I feel that I have to move forward, and I think it's a good way for everybody. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe other people are better off doing it differently.
Everybody has his own path and his own journey and his own speed of moving ahead. And I think, yeah, you can use somebody else's situation to inspire you and try some things, but you have to do it yourself and you have to, yeah, go your own way.
But I think that meditation is a good way to get rid of the fear also, because if you are acting in this scarcity mode or fear, this mode of fear, then you're not, that's not good. So, and that's, I think that meditation helps me also to be relaxed about this, and to not worry about this. I know my business partner, she's completely different. I mean, she's now all in. She's doing lots of stuff, lots of webinars and Q&As and vlogs and blogs and tuk and chak. And that's maybe her way of proceeding and finding her a new path.
What is a dream? What is a dream? Something big, something maybe, yeah, I don't know. You want to play in a Hollywood movie or climb the Mount Everest or something? What is a dream that you want to do or be?
Well, I've got this vision board with a lot of stuff on it. I see myself doing a TED talk, maybe. I see myself becoming the next Brandon Bouchard, maybe. So these are dreams. We'll see. I want to enjoy the sun in the Provence more. We were going normally now. Corona saw to it that's not happening. But yeah, my dream is really, it's really stupid actually. It's really being happy with what I've got, and I already live my dream. But then again, you want to grow and you want to still do things in life. So yeah, becoming the next Brandon Bouchard, why not?
Okay.
That's nice.
As a last closing question, is there something that you want to say or express which we did not touch upon in this hour?
Oh, we talked a lot about lots of things. I would just say to the people listening, it's actually use my 4 words too. And if you live your life with these 4 words, I'm pretty sure you have a abundant and happy life too. So love the people around you, love everything that you do, live in love, actually. Trust that everything's going to be just fine. Serve the people around you, serve everybody that you can help, and have a lot of fun.
Okay, thanks, great. Where can people find you? I mean, online, of course. Eh?
Yeah. There's no website for the moment, so.
Or on Instagram or something.
Yeah, you can reach the easiest is Greet Bunnens on Facebook Facebook and LinkedIn.
No.
I've got an Instagram account. I've got several Instagram accounts. I think it's Facebook and LinkedIn are the easiest.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put the links below.
Okay, great.
I want to thank you for the great conversation and the openness, Greet. I really enjoyed it. And I'm very convinced that this is the first, but not the last.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
Okay, take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.